At least you get in the fights. At least you get in the fights. At least you get in the fights.
I put belt to ass, and you can see that's what I do.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to talk about this potential matchup because it's been reported that it's going to be on May 10th. It hasn't been a formal announcement yet, but it's fully expected that on May 10th in San Diego, California, the beautiful city of San Diego, California, one of the most beautiful cities in America, I might add, you're going to have the WBO Super Featherweight champion, Vaquero, Emanuel Navarrete, right? He's going to defend his belt against the very dangerous, hard-hitting Filipino contender, Charley Suarez. And I got to say, this is probably one of the more interesting fights that Vaquero has had in a while, in my opinion. He's not going to unify because, for better or for worse, unifying it's against the top rank. Top rank. We don't unify, we harmonize. That's the new catchphrase of Top Rank. We don't unify, we harmonize, right? So they're gonna harmonize and get together with a contender and defend the belt again, right? And when you say Navarrete versus Charley Suarez, it just sounds Top Rank. Like, it sounds like a Top Rank matchup. But politics aside, promotional stuff aside, I actually like this matchup a lot more than a lot of the recent fights that Navarrete has had. I thought the Valdez rematch was very unnecessary, and it was a one-sided beatdown. Dennis Baranchyk was okay because he was moving up in weight to try to win another world title. I could have did without Conceição, right? Because he was coming off of, he hadn't won a fight in a couple fights before that fight. And so for me, this is really the first real interesting Navarrete fight since the first Oscar Valdez fight. It's been about a year and a half, to be honest with you, since he had an interesting fight with me. And I like this fight because I think the styles of Navarrete and Suarez are going to mesh very, very well. Now, on the other side, Charley Suarez, he's been pounding the pavement, working his way up slowly but surely to the number one contender spot. He hasn't beaten big names, but he's beaten some live competition guys that came to win. Guys like the Olympian Paul Fleming, fighters like Johan Vasquez, Luis Correa, who was a solid tough guy, and then Jorge Castaneda in his last fight. But this is really Charley Suarez's first real big fight. And I think you talk about Mexico, you talk about the Philippines. I mean, boxing has a storied history of Mexican warriors and Filipino warriors putting on amazing fights. Those are two of the most tradition-rich, proud boxing countries there is. So I would expect this fight to be a very entertaining fight for as long as it lasts. You got Navarrete, who does everything wrong, but it's right for him. It's wrong for everyone else. It's wrong for 99.9% of boxing, but it's right for Vaquero. He's throwing punches from the ceiling, the floor, the side. He's windmilling shit. I mean, he's hard to figure out. I mean, it looks ugly, it looks bad, but it works for him, right? And Charley Suarez, I would say, is more of a conventional fighter than Vaquero. He actually he does have a decent jab, but he's a volume puncher in his own regard, and he's very good at, overwhelming fighters with volume. And so I'm very intrigued to see if how that goes against Navarrete, because I think while Suarez is a volume puncher, he's more of he places his shots, right? He doesn't throw. Navarrete just throws the throw. He see it open and he's throwing it. It don't matter if he hits you with the side of his hand, the front of his hand, the back of his hand, open hand, closed hand. Any way Navarrete can touch you, any opening he can find, he's gonna take it. Charley Suarez, I think, is a bit more calculated as far as his punch selection and his punch placement than even Vaquero Navarrete. So I like this fight a lot. Filipino fighters over the last year or so, they've been getting stopped with body shots like crazy. Navarrete does have a really good body shot, so I'm intrigued because for Suarez, this is going to be do or die for him, right? He's 36 years old. He got to win this fight. He's a high-risk, low-reward fighter. The top guys aren't going to try to fight with him because he's not a big name, and I think he's got to come out here and win. And I don't think it's impossible. I mean, Navarrete, while he's 30, I think he's older than his age. He's been in some wars. He's had some wear and tear on his body. He's not the most defensively responsible fighter in the world. So it's a fight that I think Charley Suarez can win. Now, for Navarrete, to me, like I said, I think this is the first like real fight he's been in. Because with all respect to the Warrior Oscar Valdez, I got a lot of respect for Oscar Valdez, but the rematch was unnecessary. And Valdez, I think, already had one foot out the door when they fought in the rematch. Blanchard can't really punch like that. And Conceição, a lot of people thought that Conceição beat Navarrete, or he had a case to beat Navarrete. And, he didn't get the decision. So, I think if we're talking about just pure punching power, we're talking about just pure danger, this is the most dangerous, puncher that he's fought in a while. And, on paper, Suarez doesn't have a high knockout ratio. He's only sporting a 55% knockout ratio, but he's an accumulation puncher. His shots add up. And Navarrete, Vaquero, he's got, defense that's very porous, but he wins fights because he can take it, but they can't take what he dishes out. So I think this is the first guy he's fought in a while that I think could match him punch for punch in the volume department. And that's the fight within the fight. That's the intrigue of the fight to me, as well as the whole Mexico versus Philippines dynamic. So it hasn't been officially been announced yet, but it's expected to be May 10th in San Diego, alongside Reina Murataya versus Saul Abdulayev as they score off for the IBF interim lightweight title. So y'all can make it that what you will. What do you guys think about that fight? How do you guys see Vaquero Navarrete versus Charley Suarez? I think it's a good fight. I think it's one of the better fights that could be made right now because, again, say it with me, guys. Top ranked boxing where we don't unify, but we harmonize, right? So Navarrete's not fighting Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach is probably going to go to 135 full time. That belt will go vacant soon. Shockey Foster, they haven't decided to make that fight yet. I guess they feel they got to build it up a little more. And the IBF title right now is currently vacant, and Eduardo Sugar Nunez and Masanori Rikishi are going to fight for it. So 130 is kind of trash right now, just being honest. So it's one of the best fights that could have been made for him, and I'm glad it got made. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Give me your thoughts. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here.
Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.